Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on our Wolff webinar, part of our productivity series here at UC News North America. We're going to get going in just a few minutes. We've still got some folks joining us. We've got about 2 more minutes, and we're going to start this webinar talking today about the circle cutter. So, a few minutes, and we'll get going. Thank you for joining us today. Well, good morning, everybody, again. Thank you for joining us today for this productivity series featuring our Wolff Tools brand here at UC News North America. My name is Josh Neuberger. I'm the Director of Marketing, and greatly appreciate your time. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about a tool that sometimes gets a little overlooked within the Wolff's tool brand, but if you do any type of sheet goods or any type of sports floors or any type of flooring that would require you to cut circles, including wood, this tool is definitely going to be able to help you out. So today I'm joined by Corey Dickerson and Joe Liss, and they are going to be presenting the Wolff Circle Cutter. Just a little bit of an administrative part of things. There is a question chat feature off to the right-hand side within your toolbox. We'll answer all questions at the very end. If you do have a question as we go, just type it in there, and then we'll certainly answer all the questions as we get going. But again, we thank you for your time joining us today. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joe. Joe, take it away.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Sounds good over there, Josh?
Yeah, you're good.
Do I have control of the screen?
You should have control of the screen.
I don't see my little. I don't have it. Okay. Good morning. Yeah, today we're going to talk about one of our heat welding tools. I am the technical sales rep for the West Coast. Actually, Big Horseshoe from Montana all the way over to New Mexico and everything in between California, Washington, Oregon, Arizona. And then I have Corey, who's the Midwest rep, and now places east as well. And here's the information for us. You'll be able to access this later if you need it. This kind of gives you an outline of where we cover. Okay. Here, I just like to show kind of an overview of where we're from. So our new corporate facility is near Stuttgart in Germany, a little town called Ilsfeld. This is our new facility, which was built just a few years back, I think maybe 3-4 years. Our facility in the States, of course, most of you know, is Aurora, Colorado. So all the Wolff product ships out of Aurora. So I always just like to kind of show this so everybody gets an idea of exactly where this stuff comes from. Everything is built in Germany and Ilsfeld and shipped to us in Aurora and distributed in the US from there. So it's a cool little map to show you where we're from. Of course, and a lot of people know us for, this is our bread and butter, the floor stripping part of it, the concrete surface prep. And then our third aspect would be the heat welding. So you see there's our auto welder there. We got the lino cut in that image. So everything from removing the floor, prepping the concrete, and installing the floor for resilient goods. That's basically conceptually the easiest way to describe is remove the flooring, prep the floor, and installation. And productivity is our product. We've chosen this kind of as we move forward, especially for some of our unique tools, to make life easier, to make it quicker, to make it a more presentable product. All these things are encompassed in this, and Josh is going to talk a little bit more about productivity as our product near the end. But I think that this tool, the circle cutter, definitely falls within this productivity as our product. Okay, so this is a circle cutter for resilient goods, not just resilient, but mainly it was made for linoleum. Linoleum is huge in Europe, but also for sheet goods, for vinyl, for LVP plank. Okay, a lot of different things you can use this circle cutter for. The smallest circle is approximately 13 inches, but we can go up to pretty much anything with extensions. You see in this image here, we have the basic circle cutter. It's got 3 extensions on it. It's got the cutter scriber. Okay, but we can add many extensions to this thing and go up to whatever you need. If you're doing a circle the size of a warehouse, it can be done with this tool. Okay, so here, kind of show how it mounts to the floor. We have a video that's going to show this real quick as well. But basically, it's a piece of plexiglass that gets double-sided taped to the floor. And the idea behind this is to be non-destructive to any floor covering that you're installing. So the difference in the old school manner, and maybe some of you that are on here have done this, you're going to use a string, a pencil, a nail, whatever it is, to draw that circle and then cut it out freehand. So this tool will do it non-destructively, automatically, and give you a pristine circle and cut. Okay, so the top picture there, that's 2 suction cups that get mounted to the plexi, not the material, not the flooring material. It's on smooth bearings, so it spins really easily. And then the extension rails here, which are sold separately from the kit you're looking at, can give you 15-foot increments up to however long you want to go. And then the grooving attachment it's showing here, this is for grooving the floor after you've cut your circle and installed it. The floor is done, the seam is done. You would use this grooving attachment to put it on the circle cutter to groove out the circle. So you don't have to do it manually as well, if you don't want to. Corey, you want to take this part?
Sure. So the features and benefits for the circle cutter are just amazing. We do, as Joe showed, we have a single blade cut and or scribe system. So with the blade adjustments on the cutter head, you can actually cut through, but in most cases you'll probably be installing over concrete. So cutting through will actually damage your blade. So you can raise the blade a little bit, and you can scribe through and then back cut with your hook knife, and that'll give you a consistent and clean edge cut. And the next line is the adjustable depth for the blade for scribing and cutting, which I just described. Attachments for corner and wall radius. We've got a lot of jobs, and you guys will see a picture later of a corner where there is a radius coming from one wall to the other wall. And as Joe mentioned, in the past we take a nail and use a nail as a pivot point, which would damage the material. But we've got an attachment that can put you right in the corner, and you can swing from wall to wall and give you a really good pie-like cut. And it totally eliminates a lot of time. And then the attachment for grooving, it eliminates the need for hand groover. Working in a lot of gyms, when you in basic art and design, every line has 2 sides. So when you are cutting that circle and you want to put those lines in for a center circle, let's say for a basketball court, you still have to weld on both sides of that line. So having that attachment groover, the grooving attachment, you can groove out the inside of that line and groove out the outside of that line, and now it's prepped and ready for welding. or sheet good welding. Application examples: cutting circles for vinyl sheet goods or planks, lino, rubber, sports flooring. Of course, with that adjustable blade with the rubber, it makes it really good, because we all know when trying to cut rubber or even sports flooring, sometimes you have to use quite a few passes to get through, but the blade will actually get you not all the way through. For wood floor scribing, we actually have a pencil holder in the in the head of the of the circle cutter, so you can adjust the blade all the way up, or take the blade out to eliminate the possibility of scratching the floor. And you can put a pencil or a writing instrument in there, and that can create the whole circle for you. I could just draw it out for you on hardwood surfaces.
Yeah,
It's good
exactly,
for
exactly. You could be completely non-destructive to just pencil mark it, so you don't have to, worry about ruining the floor right out of the chute,
that's I mean, you work with a lot of hardwood floors. It's a truly a really good tool to have there. And then LVP and LVT installations as well.
Okay, so we're going to play the application video that we do have on our YouTube channel. And by the way, yeah, all the instructional videos are on Wolff Tools, so youtube.com/Wolff Tools. This is one of them. So this is just a couple minutes long. We can show you exactly how you set it up. Josh is going to take care of that. hopefully it wasn't too long there. It was, you know, so a couple key things about that video. I mean, that's just showing you the very simple manner of just cutting out a circle out of sheet goods, but it's also showing you that it's completely non-destructive. So when you're using that plexi and you're just taping it to the floor, that stuff easily cleans off. So you don't need to worry about putting a pinhole in the flooring, you know, a nail hole, whatever it would typically be. If you're going to groove it later, you know, you do need to mark a little pencil mark that you can easily clean off. That way, when you put your grooving attachment in it, the floor is installed, you have to put it back on that circle to groove it out. You will have that, but that's it. And then you saw the extensions there up to 6 feet with that kit. I think it's 6 feet 8 inches with the kit. And then you can add, like I said, you add as many of those extensions you want. Comes in 5-foot sections with a roller on it, so it doesn't sag. It's tight across the floor. And I've seen the Cardine guys. They're mad scientists with this tool. I mean, I've been to shows that they've done and the floors they've installed and how they use it. They'll use it 60 feet down the corridor to make a 6-inch little fan, you know, scribe on it, and then snap it and install it. So a lot of different things you can do with this. Do I have control of this again, Josh?
Yep.
I don't see it.
Should be good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, going to show you a few job site examples. This is huge. Basketball courts, of course. We have all these circles on the court for sports flooring. I know a lot of companies that do use it for that, have used it for many, many years. Again, this is, I mean, it's insane the things they do with this tool. So the left there is the basketball court. The right is the design for the next slides that we're going to show you. So this is all their inlays they have set up for the design of the installation, right? Okay, here is their execution. So you see the circle cutter making the big circles. They're making all those little inlays as they go. Here is a good example, although we don't have a picture of the corner radius. The corner radius picture probably wouldn't do us any good anyway. It doesn't really show you anything. But if you see these pictures, you could see how if you put it up against the wall, or if you stick it in a corner and bring out the extensions from the circle cutter, now you can sweep across the floor and get that arch or that pie that you see. And he's got a picture of the circle cutter there in there. But that kind of gives you a really good example of what you can do with this tool. Okay, so the productivity part of this, no need to cut templates, which means you don't have to use a board or a cardboard or a nail, a string, you know, whatever you would typically use to make a template to cut that circle out. You don't need to do it with this tool. You can simply just put it on the material, sweep it, and you cut the circle out. It's easy, precise, clean cut. If you got a new blade, it is, it is a perfect non-jagged circle. I mean, you saw in the video, that was a fresh blade. And by the way, I had that set up on that video just to cut through, just to show how you can pass through, and that was on leveling compound. But, you know, you could cut your circles out on a board, so you can just cut all the way through it and then transfer them to the floor. Or if you're on the floor or on concrete, you can just scribe it if you don't want to dull your blade and use your Wolff knife like Corey had mentioned before. So you can set it up for just scribing. You could cut through. You can use a pencil slide down on that same cutting head, and then you can just mark with a pencil, be completely non-destructive, and then you can stick the grooving attachment on there to groove out the circle later for heat welding.
Hey, Joe, I was with a guy in North Carolina, and he said they had just spent thousands of dollars on templates.
Right, exactly. And this tool, you know, I don't want to say a price because I know I'll put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, but
$700, I don't know, approximately something like
he
this.
was talking several thousands just for templates. So the templates for circles can be quite the expense.
Right. Okay. So productivity is our product. Yes, this way works. That car was fast back in the day, right? This process worked for many, many years and still does if it has to be that way. You got a pencil, you got a string, you got a nail, you got a hammer, you got a Wolff knife, or whatever basic tool you would use it to do this with traditionally, or the new way. So you've got the plexi, you put your suction cups down, you measure out your circle, you swing it around, and it's done. It's cut, and it's, like I said, it is a perfect cut from this tool. Okay.
And I like that car too.
It's a cool looking car.
Yeah.
Oozing. Okay, so productivity is our product. This is our campaign between the two brands, Wolff and Utzeen. I'm going to give the floor to Josh to speak a couple minutes about this for you guys.
Well, thank you, Joe. Yeah, and really what this campaign is about, productivity is our product, is the combination of the brand Utzeen and the brand Wolff providing system-based product solutions to increase productivity on the job site. We understand that as a flooring installer that you are absolutely crunched for time. And so we understand that productivity is a very important part of any job site, making sure that that job site is completed accurately, without callbacks, quickly to get other trades in, because we know the flooring contractor is usually the last one on a job site. And so what we found over the years is that by combining these two brands, we are able to increase productivity on a job site. There's a wonderful presentation that our Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Utzeen gave with in relation to this. Productivity is our product concept, and we actually go through a few examples. You can find that video on our either Utzeen website or Wolff USA website, and you can see the recording of that there. But the circle cutter, as a great example, is one way that we can increase productivity on the job site. As you saw, Joe basically told you, the old way is with a pencil and a string. The new way is with the suction cup, precise measurements. And we have folks such as Corey mentioned that, basically has spent thousands of dollars on templates and was able to, save a bunch of time, and which equates to money, which creates to increased profitability. So one thing that our system-based solutions do, or our product-based systems-based solutions do, is they increase productivity, or better put into our marketing campaign, productivity is our product. You're going to hear a lot more about this as we continue on here in 2020 and 2021. But just keep that in mind as you see this, as you see that new race car. Anytime you see that new fancy race car, there's a good chance that is going to be related to a productivity as our product scenario, system, or a product-based solution for you. So again, just a wonderful campaign that we just kicked off a few months ago, and we're ever growing on it. And it is something that, certainly when you combine these brands, we can provide unbelievable productivity for you. So that's just a little bit more on that campaign. And Joe, I'll let you finish things out.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Okay, so that's it for the presentation on this. I think we covered the bases pretty good. We do have one question here. Daniel had asked, do you have any attachments to use it on carpet? We don't have an attachment, but I've seen plenty of people use this on carpet, Daniel. And basically, if it's low pile, if it's commercial, if they turn it over, they'll duct tape that plexi to the back of the carpet, and they'll put the suction cups on the plexi, and they will cut carpet circles out with it. Absolutely, I have seen that. It's not made for it, but it is definitely possible. If it's real thick, I don't know, residential, maybe, the blade depth adjustment is only about maximum 1/4 inch. So, but it would definitely, you'd be able to scribe through that, the backing, and be able to cut the rest by hand if that's something you want to do with it. Absolutely, I've seen it done. Again, not made for it, but definitely possible.
Joe, another question is, how much faster would you say the circle cutter is versus the old way? We have obviously the comparison, or the analogy that you showed beautifully there with the old race car and of course the new race car. But are we twice as fast, 3 times as fast, 4 times as fast? How much time can we save?
Well, I would say on average probably twice as fast, but like when we talk about these tools, every time we talk about them, it's not just about the time, but it's about the quality of the product once you're done using it. So, you know, the margin for error when setting this up is much, much lower. The cut is just pristine. I mean, like a perfect cut out of this tool. So it's not just time saving, which I would say is probably twice as fast as a marking out a pencil and cutting it and dealing with maybe having to do it a couple times over. But the finished product is just an absolute perfect circle.
Hey guys, and one other thing that we didn't really touch on, it kind of falls into that, what's the time, what are we saving in time? We're also, this also falls into one of our safety tools, because you don't have this blade in your hand trying to cut a circle with your other hand down. So the blade is guarded inside of the actual attachment. So you're taking that, you're adding another safety factor to another one of our cutters.
Yeah, it's a good point, Corey. I mean, you know, certainly with the increase in productivity, but the safety component is sometimes something that is often overlooked with a lot of the Wolff tools. Just you know, safety features that we take for granted, and that makes sense. You know, is certainly when you look at that old way, that is a very, very good point. So certainly a sophisticated tool and so forth.
I would compare it to our LinoCut tool, which is basically you eliminate a step or two. You know, with the LinoCut, if you're a resilient installer and you know you use a scriber, it's a two-part system. It's a scribe, then it's a come back with your Wolff knife and cut the seam. It's the same with a circle cutter. If you're using a string and a pencil, you're marking it, then you're coming back with your Wolff knife, like Corey said, and you're doing a two-step process. With this, it's basically the same amount of setup time, but it's in one pass. You just cut through it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Hey, Joe, one thing too, we were talking just behind, real quickly beforehand. One thing that we sometimes often overlook with this is anybody that's on the webinar today or watches this a little later, if they do wood flooring, can this be used on wood flooring as well?
You can definitely use it to mark wood flooring with, whether it's pencil mark or scribe mark. Absolutely.
Okay.
Dan, if you want to chime in on that, maybe you could give a little bit better insight with your experience, but definitely possible with wood flooring.
Yeah, you can definitely mark if you have a lot of circles that you need to mark. You're doing a wood gym floor and you need to mark the courts with circles. You can absolutely do that to mark out where you need to lay your tape.
Okay. What about like dropping a medallion into a floor, or you know, basically if you were going to cut out a wood floor and then put another, say, tile in there or stone? I mean, you could use that for that type of application as well.
Yes, you would just measure your medallion, set the length of your extension on the circle cutter to match that exact dimension.
Right.
Attach your pencil, put it to where you need to cut out the floor, and you're going to get an exact cutout of the medallion that you're inlaying.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that was something I know we were just talking about a little bit beforehand, and certainly an important point because there are plenty of medallions that are laid down. Certainly, there's probably some folks that do some sports flooring, and so this tool definitely has multiple different uses, not just with the, you know, normally sheet goods as we equate it to. Any last words, guys? I don't see any other questions coming in. If there are some other questions, we'll give a few.
Yeah, Josh, thanks. I'm going to make just one more comment in regards to using the circle cutter on carpet. I also want to point out that we do have a circle cutter for carpet, which is basically a cookie cutter for repairs and patches. It's a 6-inch circle cutter. And that's something we definitely recommend for carpet. If you're just doing repair work, burn marks, you know, that type of thing, you can get this simple handheld tool that we have, a cookie cutter tool, put it in the carpet, cut out a 6-inch circle. And we do have that available if you want to check our website or catalog. It's an affordable, easy repair tool. For as far as obviously circles would be.
That's an adjustable size too. It's not just a flat 6 too.
Yeah, it does go up in that range, like what, 1
Yeah.
inch to 6 inches, something like that.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Oh, I got it.
Well, folks, if there's no other questions, we definitely appreciate your time. Appreciate you investing the energy to learn just a little bit more about this tool. And certainly as part of our productivity series, Wolff Tools is a very, very important part of the entire campaign of productivity as our product. You can find a copy of this recording on our website, either Wolff Tools website or the Utzeen USA website. Probably a little later on Monday, we'll have that up for you. But we hope everybody enjoys the weekend. Thank you for joining us and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Guys, take care.
Thank you.